It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Last week, Draft Products dropped us off a brand new Hkoenig 1890 beer dispensing machine, which I'm really pleased to have unboxed, and you can check the unboxing video if you like. It's all premium quality, chrome, lovely tap handle, lovely firm tap handle there. Buttons are nice and clicky. And it's just a really nice looking kit. But the other thing that I'm really pleased about is that they just didn't send any sort of average beer keg. They sent me my favourite beer keg, so I'm super excited to load. Normally what I do with this this Waldhaus is that I just tap it from the plastic tap on the bottom and the top here, but we're gonna, it's a fantastic keg either way, but we're going to stick it in the beer machine and just see if it's sort of, it should be a lot better. Well, coming from a tap, I'm pretty sure it's just that feeling in there of premium beer from a machine. So without further ado, let's set this up. Let's load this keg, my first ever keg on this machine, and let's pour a pint. Right, okay, we're ready to load a keg. So what we do first off is we depressurize by lifting the little plastic knobbly bit. Ooh, yeah. Ugh. And then pulling that off. This is not a problem, I promise you. It's just the way it is sometimes with these kegs. Usually these kegs, these Waldhaus kegs, are absolutely fantastic. Let's quickly grab right, so grab this, slide it in, so you pulled out the tap. Oh, tell you what you have here is a little bung that needs pushing in. Now this slides in all the way down and then clips on like that. Right, that seems to have stopped the leaking. We don't want leaking beer, do we? Right, so you lift now. Oh, I'll tell you what you do now. Maybe you can see this, maybe you can't. Let me grab the camera. Now, there's a fill line here. You've got to put a little bit of water in the bottom of this machine. So, there's a max line at the bottom. So we put some water in. And we grab the keg, making sure we're still in shot. Grab the keg, slide the keg in. Like so. Then you attach this front piece back on. Ooh, the wrong way round. There we go. Right, it unclipped itself as it sat down. Right, so you connect this piece here, like so. You connect the back piece like so. I made this look terribly difficult. This sort of thing always happens when you're filming. Right, so we're connected. You then pull out your gas chamber thing. Here. Undo that. Then you stick your canister in. you screw it back up. Oh. And then you hear that? That clicks up there like that. You shut the lid. Voila. Turn the machine on. Hee hee. There it is. Now this on the back here is to control your gas. So I'm going to turn it down to 0 for a moment. So I think this beer container, this 5 litre mini keg is already carbonated enough. And on the top here you have your temperature. So it's 0.2 degrees at the moment, so it's preset for you. So should we just carry on rolling? Should we just do that? Do that all in one shot. Some people like my rough sort of video filming, my style. Some people don't. But what you do get from me is proper unedited footage. Here we go. So there's no messing about on the channel. There's no messing about, there's no lies. It is what it is. I could have probably edited this and it looked absolutely fantastic and pristine, and you know, things didn't unclip themselves, and I didn't put the keg in like backwards and stuff, you know, where I had to spin it round. I could have done all of those things edited and it would look pristine and wonderful. And then you would have bought the machine and gone, hang on a minute, it's not as easy as you first think. It's not difficult, it's definitely not difficult, but it's not as kind of like easy as the edited videos will show you. Anyway, on we go. Right, let's pour a beer then. So, I might have to turn the CO2 level up a little bit. Or maybe not. I'm glad I turned it down. Again, unedited. This is what happens. Let's go and get another glass. Let's try a Kronbacher glass this time. Let's wet the glass as well. Let's give this beer every chance. Right. Now, by wetting your glass, it seems to work if you want to sort of pour yourself a proper beer. There we go. And now it's calmed right down. Now I could probably let go of that and I can turn the CO2 up a little bit. Let's try halfway. There you go. That's too much. Let's turn it back down. Ooh. So that shows you the first time I was pouring, I didn't need to turn the CO2. Didn't need to touch it. It would have been a slow pour on the beer, but I didn't really need to mess about with that dial on the back. It was perfectly acceptable as it was. It's already a better attempt than the first one. So we're going to go with it. We're going to go with what we've got. If your beer, if you decide to buy one of these machines from draftproducts.com, there's a link in the description box for the video, then you can mess around with that dial. If you end up with a flat pint when you start pouring it, a flat keg, you can turn that dial up to add a little bit of CO2 and then just try and find the perfect balance so that it's kind of forcing some carbonation through the beer for you, and then you're able to really enjoy a pint of good whatever. This is a cracking German Pilsner. And to be honest with you, within a minute or two of me talking, look at it. It's perfect, isn't it? 4-finger, foamy white head, good amounts of carbonation. It's nice and hazy. It's a beautiful lager, this. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, terrific. Absolutely terrific. Stinging nettle on the back end. Nice and hoppy. A little bit of malt coming through, a little bit of biscuit malt. Nice and chilled. I've chilled it in my fridge. I always chill the kegs in the fridge. Let's get in. Cheers, everybody. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. It's terrific. Absolutely terrific. Wow. Great mouthfeel. Great creamy, rich mouthfeel on this. Good hop quality on the back end. Nice and bitter. Good stinging nettle bitterness coming through on the back end. Nice and hoppy. Bitter finish. But it's the malt there as well. It's that creamy, rich mouthfeel from the malt that makes this beer perfect for me. Absolutely perfect. I have a Czech beer in my perfect draft over there, and I like it, but this is better. This beer here is I think if you were to ask me to choose any keg in the world, it would be this one, I think. The Waldhaus Diplom Pils. Tremendous stuff. So I'm going to rate it. I'm going to rate the machine. Let's rate the machine first. It wasn't that difficult. I made it look a little bit more difficult than what it should have been. As I put the keg in, I kind of like slipped, and the plastic attachment that we put the beer in undid, and then I had to kind of get my fingers in there and really kind of like clip it back on. Then I put the keg in the wrong way round, and we had to kind of spin it around. It's seconds worth of things to do. It's not like a lot to do. It's just when you're filming, I'm not going to call it pressure, but it's just different when you film. It always seems to go wrong when you film. If I wasn't filming, I would have stuck that in, no problem whatsoever. The moment you flick a camera on, psh, the whole world's watching. It's a good bit of kit, it really is. It's a nice bit of kit. I'll be using this a lot because I pick up kegs quite a bit. I guess scent kegs quite a bit as well. So it's a case of when a keg does come, bang, they'll be going in that machine. Or if I go down my local shop and I find a keg that I want to drink, bang, it'll be going in that machine. Rating for the machine. 8 out of 10. I hope that fan noise dies down a little bit. I think it will. 8 out of 10 for the machine. 10 out of 10 for the Pilsner. The Pilsner's fantastic, 10 out of 10. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.